Hi, we outside. Thank you to everyone who has liked, subscribed, commented on the videos that I've shared. It is all greatly appreciated, and you are helping these videos to reach people who truly could benefit from some of the messages that are in these videos. And if you're here, then there is something here for you. There's something that is meant to encourage, uplift, enlighten you, inspire you, or just make you think a little bit on this journey. And I'm truly grateful to be here with you. So this video, I want to say that there will be people who will just not like your ass. They just won't like you. Maybe they got a good reason. Most likely they won't. They just won't like you. You just irritate something in their spirit. You show them a side of themselves that they refuse to see or that they don't accept. And they interpret that as a dislike or disdain for you. And I'm here to tell you, to encourage you, do not take that shit on. Do not internalize it. Yes, we all have things that we can work on. We all have ways that we can become better versions of ourselves. Yes, we may say something that is offensive to someone. And it is our responsibility to be accountable and to learn and to grow. And there will be people who just don't like your ass. They just don't like you. They don't even know why. They don't even have a good reason why. And for those people who just don't like your ass and don't even have a good reason why, they don't even really know why, the things they speak on are extremely superficial as to why they don't like you. You touch something in their spirit that is in the shadows. Your light is irritating those types of people who don't like you. Your light is irritating them. Now I'm going to share a quick story time with y'all. So as a kid, I had a very difficult, traumatic childhood. And when I was in the 5th grade, I was moved to a different neighborhood, and I was in the 6th grade. The 6th grade is at the time where you graduate and then you go on to a different school. So all the kids knew one another basically at this school, and I was the new kid on the block. And I was very quiet and pretty much kept to myself. I never did anything to harm anyone, and I had gotten in the practice of really trying to hide, because hiding at that time felt very safe for me. So I was definitely a hider. I tried to play as small as I possibly could so that no one would notice me. I know. So there was a teacher. Her name was Miss Williams. And she was the most vibrant, loving teacher that I've ever encountered in my lifetime as a student in traditional schools. And she would sing this song at the beginning of class, and it was, she would say, "I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic." But she has this beautiful operatic, is that a word? Operatic voice. And it was very contagious, and it was very it touched something in my spirit. It made me come alive. And she was the English teacher, and she would read poetry from famous Black poets. And every day once a week she would read, I believe once a week. This is a long time ago. My memory, I don't. Once a week she would read a poem from a Black poet. And there was one particular week she read a poem from this poet, Eloise Green. And the name of the poem was entitled Honey, I Love. And it was something about this poem that woke something in my spirit. It brought me to life. It was so beautiful and lighthearted and loving, and it woke something in my spirit, and it woke me up. And there was a poetry contest that was happening throughout the whole school, and anyone could enter. And I decided, quiet, meek, nobody put their eyes on me, to read that poem. I had to. Something in me said, be seen. You read that poem. There was so much love that it brought to me that I had to share it. I had to be the one to recite that poem at the poetry recital contest that was happening at the school. And I told the teacher, and I went up in front of the class and I recited the poem, and she said, that's your poem. That's the poem that you will read in the school's poetry recital. And I rehearsed and I memorized the poem, and to this day, for the most part, I still remember the poem. And the poem was called Honey, I Love. If you have children or if you love poetry, you may find joy from this poem. And at the end of the poem, she would say, honey, I love, at the end of each verse or stanza. And at the end of the poem, she said, honey, I love. I love a lot of things. I love a whole lot of things. And honey, I love you too. And the honey I love was a huge part of the poem. Like, that was repeated throughout the whole poem. And there was someone else in the school that was reciting I think a Harriet Tubman poem. And she was very popular. Everybody loved her. She was like the star of the school. All eyes were always on her. And my last name is at the end of the alphabet. We went in alphabetical order for this contest, for this school poetry recital contest. And she went right before me. And she ad-libbed and added the honey I love from my poem into her poem. I thought it was a little odd, but I didn't think anything of it. Her poem was great. She did a great job. So I went on. I was the last one to go on, and I read my poem, and I read it with all the heart and the love that I felt from that poem. I recited it in that way. And I did a great job. I was so proud of myself. I came in second place out of the entire school. I was so excited. I was so happy. Until, I know, dun, 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 all the kids in the school decided to make me the butt of the joke. And the punchline, so creative, honey, you lost. And all the kids were coming up to me saying, honey, you lost. And it hurt. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little kid, new at the school. I had just built up all the courage I could to stand in front of the entire school and recite this poem, someone who never wanted to be seen. And people were making fun of me. They all were making fun of me. It was very heartbreaking. This could be an episode on a TV show or something, or a movie. It was so sad. I felt so proud. But every honey I lost was deflating my balloon. And I didn't really have anyone in my life that I could share the experience that was happening to me at school with. So I had no one to really encourage me. But after some years and having grown up and understanding how children work on a deeper level, I realized that I was in a very impoverished school. And some of the kids, after graduating the 6th grade, went to be the corner drug dealer, went to be into prostitution, was being the M word and the R word from people in their own homes. They didn't have running water or food. I was around a lot of little people that were being hurt. And when you are hurt in life, it dims your light. And as children, some children, the way they process it is to transfer their hurt, the same way some adults do. The way they process their hurt is to hurt others, to intentionally and unintentionally make others feel hurt as well. And I realized that that's what was happening to me as a child when they were taunting me and saying, honey, you lost, honey, you lost. It took therapy for me to acknowledge the courage and the strength and the beautiful light that I had within me to go up on that stage in front of a bunch of people who didn't know me, and most of them didn't like me, and they didn't have any reason to. The strength and the courage and the light that was in me was attempted to be put out and to make me feel like second place wasn't good. And it was great to me. It actually was great to me. The fact that I did such an amazing job on this poem, and I came in second place out of everyone in the school, and the person who came in first place was the popular girl, the most popular girl, and she jacked a line from the poem that I was reading and inserted it into her own poem, and I still came in second place. I was ecstatic. And it took therapy for me to take back that joy for little me. So the message in that story is that hurt people hurt people. Some people don't like themselves, so they won't like you. Some people don't like you because your light irritates the light that is being squashed and dimmed within them. Your light shines a light on the fact that their light is not being nurtured and fed. So when you think of it from that perspective, for me, it allows me to have compassion for them. And it allows me to not internalize that. Send it, return the sender, or transmute it, as I really like to do. I like to take that type of energy and use it to fuel my light, to transform the dislike and the negative energy into love, and transmute that into energy, into creativity, into art, into music, into making videos like this. If you made it to the end of this video and got through that entire story, then there was definitely something in that message for you. I am truly grateful to have the opportunity to make these videos. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I may not be able to respond to all of your comments, but I do read them, and others read them as well, and they are greatly appreciated. And your comments may also encourage others. So take care.